Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Learn with Dr. Khizer. This is the part 3 video of income from capital gain, which is one of the head of income under income tax. So in the previous two videos we saw the theoretical aspects of capital gains. So today's video is also very important as we are going to discuss how to compute capital gains. So in this video we are going to discuss about the method or the format of computing the capital gain. So as we saw in the previous session that there are two types of capital gains. One is short-term capital gain, other is long-term capital gain. Short-term capital gain arises from the income generated through short-term capital assets. Long-term capital gain arises from the income generated from long-term capital assets. So I am not going to discuss what is short-term capital asset, what is long-term capital asset. So for that you have to see video number 2 or part 2 of capital gains, so that in detail you can understand if you don't know what is short-term capital asset and long-term capital asset. So now to calculate short-term capital gain, okay, here is the format. So just look here. So as usual you are going to start the format for short-term capital gain. Gross sale consideration minus realization expenses. This will give you the answer net sale consideration. With this you are going to subtract cost of acquisition and cost of improvement. Then you will get gross capital gain. Then there are few exemptions. If any exemption is applicable, you have to give that exemption, you have to subtract, then you will get the final answer, that is taxable short-term capital gain. So this is how the calculations will take place, or computation of short-term capital gain happens. Just one second. Okay. So gross sale consideration minus realization expense, net sale consideration minus cost of acquisition, cost of improvement, you will get gross capital gain. With these exemptions you will minus, you will get the final taxable amount of capital gains. This is for short term. Simultaneously, even I would like to just discuss the format of long term, which is quite similar to short term. Okay, so gross sale consideration minus realization expense will give you net sale consideration minus indexed cost of acquisition minus indexed cost of improvement will give you gross capital gain. Then from that you will write the exemptions, you will get net capital gain. The difference between short-term calculation or computation and long-term calculations are just here. In long-term you have to do indexing of cost of acquisition and cost of improvement. Here you will directly write what is the cost of improvement, what is cost of acquisition. Here you are going to do the index. We will see in detail about this. Okay, so we have to discuss one by one. Okay, what is gross sale consideration, which is common in both the formats, long term as well as short term. Gross sale consideration is the amount of sale for your capital asset or of your capital asset. Whatever you have sold your capital asset, whether it is short term or long term, whatever income you get or whatever price you have decided for sale, that is called as your gross sale consideration. Got it? Then minus realization expenses. Realization expenses are those expenses which are incurred to make a sale, or which is incurred to realize your asset. Realize is nothing but selling or transferring your asset from one person to other person. Expenses, like here you can see in the down part here, realization expenses examples I have given, that is brokerage, stamp duty, commission, registration fees, traveling expense to sale. Okay, all these things are your realization expenses. If you notice all these expenses, these are the expenses which will be incurred for selling a asset. Okay, any expense you sell incur to sell the asset, that is considered as realization expense. So this is the sale value. Suppose 50 lakhs is the sale value, 2 lakh is the realization expense. Then you will get net sale consideration. Means after subtraction of your actual expenses, you will get the final, what is the actual income you got from the sale. So you got only 48 lakhs here. So 50 lakhs is your amount you received on your sale of asset. Then realization expense of 2 lakhs for example. So minus, if you do, you will get 48 lakhs. That is your net sale consideration. Now what is cost of acquisition? Cost of acquisition is the amount for which you had purchased the asset. Okay. For example, building you purchased for 30 lakhs, you have sold for 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs is your sale consideration and 30 lakhs is your acquisition cost. Acquisition is nothing but purchase cost. Okay, whatever the cost is incurred for you to purchase the asset, that is considered as cost of acquisition. Similar way, cost of improvement, any additions you have done, okay, to that particular asset, or any modifications you have done, okay, or any changes you have done, anything you have altered, that is the cost of improvement. For example, you purchased the building for 30 lakhs, okay, and within a span of 6-7 months or 1 year or whatever the duration is, you have constructed one more room or one more floor to your building. Okay, that is your additional cost, that is considered as cost of improvement, for example. Okay, so now with net sale consideration, you are going to minus cost of acquisition and cost of improvement, if any. You will get gross capital gain. Okay, if you get in negative values, then it will be considered as loss. So I gave you the example of 50 lakhs minus 2 lakhs, you got 48 lakhs, minus 30 lakhs is your cost of acquisition, 48 minus 30, minus, for example, another 3 lakh rupees if you consider, then whatever answer you get, that is your gross capital gain. With this, there are few exemptions. If you do few activities under these sections, 54B, 54D, 54G, 54GA, we will discuss this. It is not so complicated. Okay, don't worry. So if you do any activity as per these sections, anything you have invested, anything you have purchased with that sale amount, okay, so in that case, you can claim the exemption up to certain amount, which is prescribed for each section differently. Okay, once you minus this with gross capital gain, you will get the final answer of taxable capital gain. If this is the format for short-term capital gain, then the next format we will discuss for long-term capital gain. Everything is same. Okay, that is your gross sale consideration, same the sale value, realization expenses, this is also the same value, that is if you incur anything to expense, if you have incurred to sell the asset, then you will get net sale consideration. Instead of writing cost of acquisition as you wrote in short-term capital asset, similar way here you are going to index it. Indexing is nothing but you are going to calculate the inflation cost of your asset. Okay, because it is a long term in nature. Okay, so you are going to calculate the indexing for your asset, so that is called as indexed cost of acquisition. This in detail we will see in the next video. Then indexed cost of improvement, as you charged here cost of improvement in case of short term capital gain, similar way here also you are going to calculate the cost of improvement but with indexing. Indexing is nothing but with inflation cost you are going to that is calculate the that is cost of improvement. If you minus this, you will get gross capital gain. Then there are few exemptions applicable only for long term. Okay, if you see four that is short term exemptions which are applicable Okay, those are even applicable for long term also. Along with that, another 3-4 extra exemptions are available for long term capital assets. So if you minus those things which is applicable for you, not all the exemptions will be applicable. 1 or 2 exemptions can be applicable for the asset. Then you will get the taxable or long term taxable capital gain. Okay, these are the 2 different formats. Hope these formats are clear and it is clearly understandable. If you have any doubts, you can clarify in the comment section. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to this channel so that you can learn and improvise your knowledge. Okay, not only the subject knowledge here, I am going to that is discuss various interview tips and career growth options and other stuff also, which is very much useful for your career growth, okay, and personality development. Okay, thank you very much. If you like this video, kindly hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon also, so that you will get the latest notifications. Thank you very much.